So you're running your store on Shopify, your wholesale orders are starting to pick up, and you'd rather get your B2B set up properly than run everything on an inbox and a spreadsheet. If that's the case, then you've come to the right video, because I'm going to show you how to set up Shopify B2B from start to finish in just 4 easy steps. We've helped thousands of Shopify merchants sell B2B, so I've made this as simple as I can. The first thing you set up on Shopify B2B is a company, because every B2B buyer belongs to one. Wholesale works differently than your normal store, where one person just checks out normally with their own card. A company is just the business that you sell to, like a distributor or a retailer. And that business might have 3 to 4 different people all placing orders under it, but with the agreed pricing and payment terms with that company. Inside each company, you set their payment terms, their shipping location, and the region that they belong to. For payment terms, you decide whether a buyer pays you up front or gets an invoice and pays you back later in 30 or 60 days. A lot of wholesale buyers expect to be able to order now and pay later. So if you only offer an upfront payment type, a lot of wholesale customers just won't order from you. And the region that you assign controls which pricing and currency the buyer sees when they log in. So a buyer in another country sees their own pricing and currency automatically without you having to manually change everything every time. The one thing Shopify doesn't give you here is a way for brand new businesses to sign up on their own. There's no built-in B2B form, so when a new buyer wants to start ordering from you, you download the free Shopify Forms app and use it to start collecting their details. Then you review what they sent in and set up their company account for them yourself. That works fine when it's the odd customer here or there, but as more signups start to come in, doing each one manually takes up more and more of your team's time. Now that your companies are set up, the next step is deciding what those customers actually pay. And in Shopify, that all happens inside a catalog. A catalog is just a price list that's tied to a group of customers where you decide what price they pay and even what products they can actually see. Your retail customers might get 25% off of your products, while a distributor gets even more discount and maybe even on a wider range of products. Every wholesale deal is a little bit different, so if you had one price for everybody, you'd either give away too much margin to your smaller accounts, or you'd charge too much to your bigger customers and lose them. From there, you've got a few different ways to set those pricing depending on how detailed your pricing is. The simplest is a flat percentage off of your price list, like 25% off, for example, and this is easy to do in just a couple of clicks. If your pricing is more specific than that, you can upload a spreadsheet with the exact pricing in it for each product. And for more advanced setups, you can connect another system to set the prices automatically. You can also set quantity discounts so the price drops as a customer orders more. For example, one unit might be $19.50, but if they order 24 or more, then the unit price drops to $17.55. This is how a lot of wholesale pricing works, since buyers get a better rate for buying in bulk, and it gives them a reason to order more and grows your average order size. Now, something that you'll want to know is that Shopify caps how many of these catalogs you can have, and that's one of the first limits that you'll run into. On the lower plans, you only get access to 3 different catalogs and 3 different markets, so you can only have 3 price lists and sell into 3 different regions. And 3, it sounds like plenty until you actually add up your customers and realize that you've got a couple of different distributor accounts, a few countries that you sell into, and one special big deal that you've done with one of your accounts. And suddenly you're already past it. The moment you need a 4th, like a separate price list for a new customer or a new country, the only way to get it is to upgrade to Shopify Plus. Plus starts around $2,300 per month, which in my opinion is a lot to pay for just a couple more price lists. By the way, if you don't want to pay for Plus just to get past 3 catalogs, you can try out SparkLayer by clicking the first link in the description below. It's a B2B app that you install right on your store that avoids all of the different limits that we just went over. You also get as many prices as you need without paying for Plus at all, so you can skip the $2,300 per month. So basically, if you're already experiencing any of the Shopify limits in this video, SparkLayer handles all of them. Anyway, let's keep going. Once your pricing is set, your buyers can start placing their own orders. When a buyer logs in, the store looks the same as always, but now they can see their wholesale pricing instead of their retail prices. They also get their own account area with their full order history, so they can reorder products within a couple of clicks without having to email you every time. And then at the checkout, your buyers don't have to fill anything in. Their shipping locations and payment terms are all already applied from their company. If they pay you with net terms, they can check out now and pay you later with no need to pay upfront. That means your buyers can order from you at any time without your team having to manually key in an order. And that saves a ton of time, because one of the brands that we worked with, Ashtabula, they saved 40 hours per week once their buyers started ordering this way. Now, I will say there's one part of this that Shopify makes harder than it needs to be, and that is bulk ordering. A lot of wholesale buyers want to purchase 30 or 40 different products all at once by typing quantities into a single page rather than having to go into individual product pages. This is exactly the kind of hassle that makes buyers go back to email, because if they have to reorder each of their 30 products with 30 separate clicks, they'll just manually send you their list instead. instead. Shopify only gives you this if your theme supports it, and if it doesn't, then you're back to downloading another app or paying a developer to build it. If you're using SparkLayer though, this whole ordering experience is built from the start. Buyers get a quick order page where they can add lots of products and quantities all at once with their price break shown right there and no extra app needed. Also, it builds the order for you for the buyer that just emails you their list or uploads a spreadsheet, so the buyer that doesn't want to order from the website still gets taken care of. So that handles buyers ordering on their own, but plenty of B2B orders still come from your sales reps placing orders on behalf of customers. So that's the last thing to set up. On Shopify, the only way to let a rep order on behalf of a customer is to set them up in your Shopify admin the same way that you set up the whole rest of your store. And from there, they build what Shopify calls a draft order, adding the products once at a time and picking the customer. And that's a huge pain for a rep who's doing this all day. There are also two other problems with doing it this way on Shopify. First, every rep that you have takes up a Shopify staff account, and on the basic plan you only get 2 of those, so a sales team of any size uses those up really fast. Second, you're giving salespeople full access to your store when you only really need them to be able to place orders. That means they can get into your products, your other customers, and they can see orders across the business, not just their own accounts. Now, if a buyer wants a price quote before they commit to buying, Shopify has no way to do that either. And a lot of wholesale actually starts with a quote because a buyer wants to agree on pricing before they actually place that order. There's no quoting functionality anywhere on Shopify B2B, so your sales rep would have to build a draft order and email that to your buyer instead. This means there's no back and forth and nothing the buyer can adjust. It's just a one-off order sat in your admin. If you're using SparkLayer though, this is a lot easier. How it works is your reps can log right into the storefront. They can switch between all of their customers, see that rep specific pricing, and then place an order on their behalf and produce quotes for them too. It works on a phone too, so a rep can be at a customer's warehouse and place an order for them, and they never have to log into the Shopify admin. Quoting works exactly the same way. A buyer or a rep can request a quote, go back and forth on pricing, and once they've agreed that, they can turn it straight into an order right there. And it even handles new buyers signing up with a built-in form where you can approve them, so you don't need that separate app from earlier. Now look, you can set all of this up using Shopify exactly as we walked through earlier. But unless you want to run into more of those limits, like the $2,300 per month, the additional apps that you might need, or sales reps working within your admin, then I would recommend looking at SparkLayer and booking a demo by clicking the link in the description below. On the demo, we'll show you how the pricing, the quoting, and the sales reps can all run without running into any of the limits that we just talked about with Shopify. So again, even if you're just a little bit interested, book a demo with SparkLayer by clicking the first link in the description below. And if you want to check out some other B2B e-commerce platforms, then check out this video next.